Hey guys, Mr. Baines here to talk about seasons. All right, first things first, add this to your table of contents. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. Your learning objective, you need to be able to draw a picture showing why the Earth has seasons. You need to be able to draw the solar angle during sunlight or of sunlight during winter and summer months. So our new word is solar angle. First things first, I know we already did this, but I want you to rate the 4 months from coldest to warmest for Colorado. Go ahead and pause it. All right. The correct answer is January is the coldest, then March, then September, then July. What causes some months to be warmer than others? I know we already did this in a problem of the day, but please draw this in your notebook. And yeah, draw why you think this is in your notebook. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. All right. I showed these pictures already, but if you were thinking that Earth is closer to the sun and that's why it's hotter, you're incorrect. In July, we are actually further from the sun, and so we are not actually any warmer because of this. Well, much warmer. We're probably a little warmer. Okay. Then we looked at this graph. The northern hemisphere is hottest in July, coldest in January. Okay. But the southern hemisphere is the exact opposite. In July, it is at its coldest, and in January, it's at its warmest. So there must be something else going on. Well, it actually has to do with the tilt of the Earth. The Earth does not actually point straight up and down. Okay, its axis is tilted. So there's straight up and down. It's actually pointing a little bit this way. It's pointing towards a star called Polaris. We call it the North Star. Okay, because it's always in our north. All right. Please draw this diagram in your notebook. Go ahead and pause it. All right. It is summertime because we are tilted towards the sun, okay, in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, we're actually pointed away from the sun, so it's winter for them. And in the winter, we are pointed away, and the southern hemisphere is pointed towards. In autumn, we're pointed neither towards or away. Okay, so fall, we're actually not pointed towards or away. We're pointed off at the northern star, which is over here. Okay, so it's actually not warmer or colder. It's right in between for spring and fall. All right, there's this cool simulator. If you search for Seasons Simulator, spelled like that, you'll find it. I'm going to go ahead and go through it a little bit to let you see what it's like. All right. All right, so it's pretty cool. If we move our little guy here, this guy is standing right now. He's standing about where Colorado is. We're right in the middle of the United States there. So this red line is where we go around. Okay. So today's date is November 14th. We passed it. Okay. One more. All right. So here we have the sunlight is coming in at kind of an angle. And it doesn't go as high up into the sky as it normally does. Okay. And as you look, it's actually going to get less and less and less until around December 21st. And it's going to actually start going back the other way until we get very, very straight up and down in June. Not all the way straight up and down. At June 21st, it's going to switch and then go back to that. So if I start the animation, you can see what the sun does over the course of the year. So that's pretty cool. Now, if my brother was at his home in Australia, which is about down here somewhere, and it was November 21st, look at that. He's getting almost straight sunlight. So he's got very, very warm days. Very, very warm days then. Okay. But in June, he's got very cold days because the sun isn't pointing directly down on him very much. So it's the opposite for him. And we also talked about in Alaska how that one guy, Alaska's right up here, the sun doesn't even set. If you look at this red line, it doesn't go into the shade here. This means that the sun is up for 24 hours. 24 whole hours. It doesn't even set. So until that, there, now it's set. So they have a couple months there where the sun stays up and doesn't go down. But they also have a couple months where, look at that, the sun doesn't even come up. So that red line is totally outside of that until there. So they have several weeks in there where the sun doesn't even come up. Same is true for the southern hemisphere. Okay, if you've seen March of the Penguins, the sun goes down for a couple months there. It doesn't even come up and those poor penguins freeze. So that's not so good for them. All right. Please write down 3 observations from this simulator that you play with, okay? And yeah, tell us why it gets warmer or colder from that simulation. Go ahead and pause it. All right. Next, let's introduce that word that I talked about, a solar angle. All right, you need to make a tip chart for this word. So write the word solar angle, give a definition, and then draw a picture. Go ahead and pause it. Okay, add solar angle to your index. So the solar angle, the more straight on you get the light, the warmer it's going to be. The more at an angle it is, the more tilted this light is, the less light we're going to get, and it's going to be colder. So please draw the solar angle during summer and during winter. You can go back to the simulator if you need to remind yourself. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. And finally, you need to explain how seasons work using 1 to 2 sentences or a thinking map. And you can draw pictures along with it. Go ahead and pause it. All right, that is it for this video, and I will see you next time.